Quite
a
bit of questions. Some of these are funny.
Are they really?
Yeah.
All right, y'all, what's up? So this is the Q&A portion of the video. I don't know if this is going to be a part of my M8 versus M10 or if it's going to come out after, but I just want to say that because I just don't know. And some of these questions, I think, I passed the phone to Ari. I want Ari to do the Q&A with me. I feel like it would be cool if she asked the questions and I'll answer them. And are we ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Have you looked at any of these, by the way?
I glimpsed, but I didn't really want to look too hard. I glimpsed though.
Okay, so as a lurker, I've been seeing people ask you this.
Okay.
And so I'm going to start with this question first.
As a lurker.
As a lurker, you know. How has the experience been from the M8 to the M10? Keep up the great work.
So, small caveat, I don't own the M10 yet. It's a loaner camera. So I haven't made the switch, but I'm making the switch.
Ooh, juicy.
It's inevitable.
Okay, tell us
The M10's a better camera. Like, I don't know, like the M8 is nostalgic. It's beautiful when it hits. It looks like a painting when you get it right. But the M10 is a machine, and sometimes it's nice just to have a trusty machine by your side. Do I need to say more?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I love both cameras, and it's the same thing. Shooting and like a M, once you shoot one, you kind of shot them all. Only difference would be film, no battery, no light meter, or digital, and you have all the perks.
All right. So, another question. Some lessons from your earlier jobs, not projects, but actual paid work.
Lessons from actual paid jobs early on. Man, I have some like traumatic stories. Like, I don't know, because it's like...
I was going to interject and talk about that one film job.
Which one?
When we shot everything on film.
Yeah, so... so we shot... No, we won't say any names.
No, don't say
We shot a restaurant. We shot this restaurant, and this is a great lesson, actually. So we shot a restaurant. Loved our work, reached out, shoot, everything was a success. We loved the photos, sent them over, and so they didn't like the grain in the film. They didn't like that it was like it had a film-esque look, which is funny because I'm sure they would love that shit now. They didn't like the film look, and so they basically tried to say like, oh, well, since we don't really like it, we're not gonna really pay anymore, like, because we don't want to use them. And it's kind of funny because this was like one of the one or two first paid gigs, so this was an ego. This kind of hurt a little bit because it was kind of...
Definitely stung.
Yeah, it stung because the lack of appreciation. Over time, you won't give a shit about that. But like, hopefully you're getting appreciated from your clients, but if not, get the bag. But in this case, like, this hurt because I wasn't used to it. We weren't used to like making money through photography. So putting yourself out there as an artist is already one thing. Then to receive the feedback like, oh, we don't actually like it. And then on top of that, to be like, we're not trying to pay though. That was tough. So I guess the lesson would be lock in your stuff, lock in your rates, be very clear on your deliverables. And
contracts.
Lock in the contract. Get the money. Make sure that it's like there's no slippery slope for clients to play that game with you, because it doesn't feel good.
But then I also think I would say just knowing what the client wants. Like, you need to be clear what the client wants. I think that's probably the most important.
Yeah, leave it to me to leave out my side of it.
Be on the same page. Like, I got to be on the same accord. So. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you prefer manual or autofocus on the cue?
Manual focus all day. I think...
Where is the cue?
The cue should be somewhere. You had it. Oh. Manual focus 1000%, because I feel connected again to the photo making process. Shooting with the cue to me is just getting the job done. Like when I pull up the cue, it's just like, I need to get the shot, let's get the shot, let's keep it moving. And the autofocus comes in handy for that. But even then though, a lot of the work that I make, I don't really need to I don't need to rush. I don't really have like a lot of people on top of me. I don't have like a huge production behind me, like ramping it up. So like I can go at my own pace. And so the M makes even more sense for me, which is kind of why I want to move to the M10 officially, because I want to shoot M in all settings.
Okay. Speaking of the work that you make, what are some tips on getting hired for lifestyle photography jobs?
Oh yeah, that's a good transition, babe. You should host.
I know.
Damn.
You see me. You see me.
Tips to get lifestyle gigs. See, I can only share my path and my approach. There's a lot of ways, and one thing that I will say is that the more connections and the more relationships and the more photographers that I tend to meet over time, the more that I realize that none of us have the same path and everybody's kind of going at it in their own uniqueness. Specifically the ones that don't have like agency reps, and that's me. I don't have an agency. A lot of it has kind of come, like I would say early on, there was a lot of reaching out and there was a lot of like trying to get our foot in the door with the blog, which was like really a big starter for my own photography career and how it kind of branched out. But even then, it was really about kind of just putting myself out there, making it known that I use Instagram for everything, because at least you could see that like I was talented. And so I kind of use that as like it's kind of like a resume almost of sorts. So it's like it legitimized me. When clients would, or if I reached out to someone, they could see my work and they could see the response to my work and they could see the consistency. And so there wasn't a ton of selling the work itself. And then from there, I would say once you get one job, kill it, go crazy. And everyone who's going to be involved in that job, from the PR or the marketing who hired you, yeah, they're going to remember that. And so with that said, it's one of those things where just put your best foot forward, keep working hard, and the results will come if you just put in the good work. And I know that's so fucking
cliche.
It's so cliche.
It's so cliche, but
it's real.
It is real. All right, so
I switched to red wine, by the way.
You mentioned different creatives having different paths. Would you consider yourself a full-time freelancer?
Oh, 1,000%. Like, yeah, we're in the freelance orbit. Okay,
so as a freelancer, what should your website have in order to book clients and get brand collaborations?
So I actually don't subscribe to the website format. I never got gigs because of my website. I put together a whole nice website. I made it pretty, did all the right things, and then I don't think I had any, and I don't know if that's just the way that the trends and things have evolved, where people don't need the website. I wouldn't say you don't need a website.
Yeah, but
I have one, but I don't really, it's not advertised.
Like Instagram and
exposure.
And exposure, you use exposure.
Oh yeah, well, real quick, shout out to
portfolio.
Yeah, and it's not even. Shout out to Exposure real quick. Exposure is amazing. Yeah. I've used Exposure for probably like the last 2.5 years or so, and it's been really, really dope. If you're a photographer and you're looking, this is not an Exposure plug, but check out Exposure for sure. But I use that more as a photo dump exercise, just to kind of get out of my own way of guarding certain photos and just like sharing. And I feel like I gotta constantly do a good job of like sharing, but that's not a traditional website. So honestly, Instagram.
Okay.
It all comes back to Instagram. Like, I've worked with clients and now they know my work, and so it's like I don't really need to have, I don't know, I just kind of made it. I'm going in circles.
Yeah. Okay. So, your biggest inspiration when it comes to photographers of the past and architects?
Oh, wow. So real quick, the architects, that I just truly, truly love is Frank Lloyd Wright, one.
I knew that one was coming.
Yeah, the design elements are just insane. And then Luis Barragan, this Mexican architect, and he has tons of incredible pieces of work and architecture throughout Mexico City. We try to check something out every time we're back. Yeah, that's not it for the architects, but I would need to tap my boy Eddie Fortunia to give us architecture lesson and all the best architects out there. But when it comes to photographers, this is a great one. I love the OGs like Stephen Shore. Ari bought me his book a couple years ago for Christmas, and his work was like really, really inspiring. And I really, really loved it. But honestly, my contemporaries, all the contemporaries out here is what's really inspiring me, and that's the work that I tend to resonate with, that resonates with me the most. And just to list off a few, I really love Alice Gow, Rich Stapleton, Joe Greer obviously is a legend out there in the streets. I like Willem's work a lot. I really love this photographer named Zach DeLeon. That's his IG handle. And he's really, really talented, and I think he's super underrated.
Yeah.
Like, I love his work. I love his colors. Zach is the man. Check out his work. Pia Riviola. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Pia, but her work is phenomenal. And
we'll drop handle.
We'll drop handles. And her work is super sick because, like, the way that she composes, she's really approaching it from a different way. And her look and aesthetic is unique as well.
There's James Harvey Kelly.
Yeah. James Harvey Kelly is another super dope photographer who shoots like film only. And all these last few photographers, check them out specifically for those asking about being a freelancer, because this is the type of work that people are creating their own path and making their own way, doing their own art and like their own specific like aesthetic. So check them out for sure.
And
who?
Cameron.
Yeah. And Cameron Hammond for sure. That's another photographer. He's very similar to James in the work that he does. A lot of portrait work, a lot of natural light, portrait work for clients, all film. They shoot different subject matters, but check them out. Cameron's really dope. I was inspired for 3 years on Cameron's work.
So you mentioned Luis Barragan in Mexico.
Photographers?
I don't know. You mentioned Luis Barragan in Mexico City. You dropped that in there. After traveling the world, what place, if any, do you think you might settle down in? Jeez.
Almost knocked the wine over. So this is funny because everywhere we go, I'm the type of person. Everywhere we go, like within like 5 minutes, I could live there. That's me.
Everywhere.
Like, we haven't even left the airport yet, and I'm like, I could see myself here. But to answer the question, it has to be Mexico City. 100%.
It is Mexico City.
It is Mexico City.
It's 100% Mexico City.
Yeah, we want to like raise kids in both. Anyway, that's a conversation for a different day. Remember, we want to do. Why? You fake.
All right. Okay, so you shoot lots of lifestyle. What are your tips on getting hired for lifestyle photography jobs?
Man, this is hard. I kind of answered it.
Yeah, but lifestyle specifically. You
jump in too if you feel like I'm not answering these questions the right way, because I don't want to. But you literally hear. The tips I have personally is reach out to the clients that you want to work with. Start locally if you want. Like, for instance, what I would do is like go to a hotel in New York City and just shoot it as if I was a guest. Or if I would walk into the lobby. This is how desperate, but we literally walk into the lobby, shoot the lobby as if like I was hired to shoot the lobby, and post it on Instagram and tag them. And guess what? If they like the photos, they're gonna be like, hey, can we use those? And then it's like, all right, cool, conversation starter. Turn that into an email convo. And now at least you have some sort of contact with that hotel who may or may not want to use your photos because they probably wanted them for free in that case. But at least they know that you're a local photographer who works in the space. Maybe they'll hit you up in a month or two. I mean, like, I just like would put the, I don't know, it was just hustle. It was a lot of hustle.
Right. Okay, so how'd you get your start? I know how you got your start. I kind of remember.
Go for it.
You were a Canon boy. You came home with this Canon camera, and
Shout out to Melandis.
You were so hyped about it, and yeah, you just kind of just started shooting.
Was I hyped?
Yeah, you were hyped about the camera for sure.
Damn, that's crazy. 'Cause I don't really remember being hyped about it. But I got my start. I was running social media. Like I was like running like a consulting business where I was like managing Instagrams and social media for people. I took on a client who needed content creation, and that was my start. I took the job saying that I would do the content creation, that I could do it. I had never taken photos before, not in any serious capacity. And that was really my freedom to kind of work without feeling pressure to like make really great work, but still be able to get paid to take photos in a way. There was more to the job, but that was it. And then when we started our blog, the place I was telling you about, please follow that, please.
That was a little plug.
It was a plug. And we're actually dropping a Mexico City guide really, really soon. So
digital guide.
Yeah, so support that. When we started the blog, I really realized that like there was a whole world of things that I was passionate about that I could photograph and get closer to those things and spend intimate time in beautiful hotels like this and restaurants, and like shooting these things like brought me closer to that. And that really was like the next chapter of like, oh, like I can just photograph the things I love. And
it definitely opened the doors.
It opened the door. So I think that was kind of the beginning.
Okay, with the doors being open, what inspires you to shoot every day?
With the doors being open.
The doors being open.
What? I don't know what inspired. You can't tell me what inspired.
You tell me.
Well, because like there's a lot that inspires me.
You know what? I will say this.
Say it.
Light. Like if you see a crazy light.
See, that's why I'm so glad you're here, because
like I wouldn't from the table. You'll do anything.
So I'm glad, because I wouldn't even have thought light is literally probably number one, I think, right now at this point in my life. I know that'll change again, I'm sure. But inspiration, I've noticed, is definitely light. I would say seeing light in unique ways, the way that it can shape a room or hit a subject or create just a whole new, like it's its own subject. So when you find really beautiful scenes, try to like check that scene out when the light is amazing in that moment, just because like you'll see that you got like multiple subject matter, whatever.
So also,
wait, what else inspires me to shoot every day? I love it.
You love what?
What inspires me to shoot every day? I don't think it's just light.
No, it's more than that. I mean,
I love photography. I don't know. It is something that's a passion, and it's, I don't know. Yeah. I love shooting.
You're just passionate about it.
Yeah, I'm passionate. I can shoot all day. It's actually hard for me to put the camera down.
Yeah, he has no chill. So I was going to say also, you know, as being a lurker, I've seen a lot of people ask you this question, and the people want to know what your editing process is like.
So I've been putting this off since the YouTube show.
Why? Tell us.
I don't really want to give it away. I don't really.
How much would you sell yourself for?
I don't know. So.
Can you be bought?
Here's a quick Joe Greer shout out, actually, because I was listening to the podcast he did with Tinker Street and Tyson Wheatley, and he said it in a way that I think I'm just going to say it, and it was, he has spent so many years getting to that point of where his edit has been dialed into that that perfect thing that you want from him now. It's like, and he sees it as like cheating you out of the process of getting to that point of seeing your edit and how it comes to life and the evolution of your own work. And I do think that that's valuable, and I also just don't want to give it up. Like, it's mine.
Yeah.
And I like having it. You know what it is? I like having my thing. I like that I've figured out that I have a thing, because I didn't know that I was arriving to a point where people would appreciate what I was doing. So now that it doesn't seem, but I don't know, if maybe I'll make something.
You think?
If I don't know, I want to figure out a way to monetize it. No disrespect, but to me,
so you can't be bought.
well, it's just, yeah, I'm selling my soul by doing it, so it needs to be right.
So
I don't want to give it away, but I will,
for how much?
because I like money.
Oh,
We got things to do. Shit, like.
all right. So how's the iPad for editing treating you?
All day. I love it. It's over here. The iPad workflow, I would highly recommend it. If I was a tech YouTuber, I would have been pushing that agenda down your throat months, probably a year ago. Like, it's been a year. I highly recommend, if you're on the go a lot, like get you a pencil, get you the Apple Pencil, get you the keyboard, and you're straight, honestly.
It's a killer combo.
Great combo.
Yeah, killer combo. So with us talking about combos, I have to ask, what's your favorite lens and body combo?
Ooh. You know what? I'm going off menu. The Texas Leica with the 90 millimeter. Is that a 2-point? No, it's a 4. 90 f4? Yeah, 90 f4. It's attached to the camera, but I love that combo. It's remarkable.
Okay, so we're winding down. We have a few questions left. Can you rate your top 5 locations in the Caribbean/Central America that you visited thus far?
We got a lot more to check off. Havana, Cuba, all day. That's a photographer's dream.
Chef's kiss.
That's her favorite place to photograph. Like,
I was going crazy out there.
yeah, you did go crazy. Havana,
Crazy.
Antigua. Antigua's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Jamaica. We love Jamaica. Jamaica's great. Good culture.
You're not mentioning Cartagena.
Yeah, I don't really love Cartagena, to be honest with you. I don't love the aggressive energy. But Cartagena is beautiful. And then Turks and Caicos.
Okay, cool. Your opinion on the X100V?
Great camera. I mean, I don't know, like, I push the Leica agenda a lot, but X100V, Fuji gang.
All right.
I respect it.
All right. And one last question. Who are the pre-check boys?
The pre-check boys is me and Moves by Mark, and it's just an ongoing joke of, like, which I'm pretty sure this joke is gonna make its way into some videos coming soon, but it's basically me and Mark on our first trip to San Francisco. His pre-check didn't work, and it turned into us being the pre-check boys.
All right.
It's also like a subtle hint of how bougie we can be.
Yeah, it's very bougie.
Mark's worse than me.
As someone who travels with Marcus all the time, if he doesn't get his pre-check, he is very cranky, and he will let you know that he doesn't belong with the common folk.
No, I don't. Don't say common folk, babe. I am common folk. Don't say it like that.
You don't be acting like common folk when you don't
Yo,
get...
we need to wrap it up because I think I'm running out of SD card memory.
All right, bye. It was fun, guys.
Thank y'all. Later.